What's going on, guys? It is the Full Throttle Hog, and in this video we are going to go over the 5 things that you didn't know that you needed for a long motorcycle trip. Let's go kickstands up. Let's get started.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on the way. Yeah. You know I be on the way.
If this is your first time here, I'd like to say welcome. Thank you for checking out the channel. We are a traveling motovlogging channel. We do things from bike reviews and product reviews, and we do cinematic style films for your viewing pleasure. If you're into any of that stuff and you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And I ask you to hit that like button if you enjoy any part of this production. It will help this video grow and we can share it with other people. Now, there's no doubt that 2021 opened up my eyes to a whole nother realm of motorcycle riding, which is long distance riding. Truth be told, in 2021, I traveled over 17,400 miles on my 2020 Road Glide Special. And throughout that process, I couldn't believe the actual enjoyment I got from a long distance motorcycle trip. Now, I know that there's the common things that you're going to see out there, which is, make sure you have your tools and your sunscreen and your chapstick and your lotions, whatever it is that are commonly talked about. But what about those things that we learn along the way that you didn't know you needed? So that's what we're going to get into. But first, I have to tell you about a huge ride, an epic ride that I'm planning right now for May. And that is going to be leaving here in the beginning of May from San Diego. We are going back over to Oklahoma to the K River campground, and that's going to be for the Fast Life Garage camp out. I can't wait to get out there. If you guys are not familiar with Fast Life Garage, I'll put a link to their stuff down below. I met Jace out at the K River for the Stubborn American party. Also, if you haven't checked out that party video, I will link that in the description below as well. But we're going to go back to the K River for the Fast Life Garage camp out, and then from there we are going to travel up to Minnesota, where I'm going to see my good friend Danny. We actually started riding together 22 years ago, and we haven't rode motorcycles in many years together. I hope to get that accomplished while I'm up there visiting him and his family up in Minnesota, and then I will be traveling back around back to San Diego. It's like 4,300 miles that we're going to be crushing in a 3-week time span. In a future video, I'll be talking about my prep work for this trip. And this year, we're going to do something a little bit different and take advantage of Bunk-A-Biker, which is where bikers can stay for free. So hopefully you guys hit subscribe so you know when that video comes out. So we as motorcycle riders want to help each other out. So if there's something that you think of that is not on this list that you think others should know about, please leave it in the comment section down below and let's help each other out. I would love to hear about it, but let's get into the 5. This is not a sponsored video. This is just a list of things that I've put together with my time on the bike and traveling, and I hope that it helps you out. This is in no particular order, but we'll just start with number 1, which is going to be always bring 2 sets of riding gloves. I learned this lesson when I did the Saddle Sore 1000 in the beginning of 2021. Right out of the gate, we hit some weather. My gloves got soaking wet. And during the end of that ride, we were riding back in the dark. We were reaching temperatures of around 34 degrees, which I don't even know what that is with the wind chill, but I can tell you my hands were frozen. It's important to always have 2 sets of gloves, and I would recommend one for warmer riding weather and one for colder riding weather, and preferably waterproof in case you hit something like that. But bring 2 sets of riding gloves. Number 2 on this list is additional bike security. When you're on these types of trips, you're going to be traveling to areas that you're not familiar with, and trust me, you will probably run into a situation where you're in a less than stellar area, and just leaving your motorcycle with just its regular alarm system just doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies when you lay your head down to sleep and you're exhausted. So I would always recommend bringing additional security. What I use is a disc brake lock system. This is on Amazon. It's like $25. I will put the link in the description down below. But pretty much what you do with this is you are going to be able to slide this up on your front disc brake, hit this lock button. It also has an alarm on it, which is ear-piercingly loud. You slide it up there, activate it, you're good to go. It comes with this strap. And the way that it tells you to do it is to put this in like so, and then what you'll do is you will slide up the brake system and run this up to your front handlebar. Here is something I will tell you I learned about this. Back in the beginning of 2021, I realized that I had a warped rotor, and the only thing that I could contribute it to was using this with the strap as instructed. This is a safety strap, basically letting you know that the disc lock brake system's on there. And I believe that it slightly tweaked that front rotor. So what I do now to avoid that with this type of pressure, especially if the disc brake is hot, is I still use this, slide it up on the disc brake and activate it. And then I take this trusty little bungee cord system and I wrap it around both my handlebars. And that is just in case, this thing runs out of battery and the alarm doesn't sound when you move the bike at all, and you don't try to ride away with this on your front disc, because that would be a very bad day. Moving on to number 3, it's going to be to bring extra bungee cords and bungee, strap systems, whether it's the bungee netting. You always want to bring extra more than you need. When you're on these long motorcycle trips, you are probably packed all the way down with everything you could possibly think of, because you don't want to forget anything. And for me, with camera gear and camping gear and all that kind of stuff, you have to leave room to be able to strap something else to the bike. When I went out to the K River, we were right at the tail end pulling into the K River, and I realized I needed drinking water and some water bottles for this camping trip. So I went to the store, and if I didn't have that bungee system or an additional bungee system, I would have had to have unloaded all my gear, then gone to the store and picked up water bottles. So having additional storage capabilities is huge, and I recommend the bungee netting. You can fold them down pretty small and keep them tight and compact to save some room, but make sure you always bring more than what you need. Next on the list is going to be a sandwich bag, which is going to be filled with miscellaneous coins, preferably quarters and dollar bills. When you're on these road trips, you're going to hit some toll roads, and I will tell you, in Oklahoma, there is a section in Oklahoma where you hit toll roads. It's cash only, and it's just going to save you a big headache if you have this sandwich bag full of cash and coins to pay those toll roads. Additionally, I have yet to do laundry on the road where the coin change machine is actually operational, and it's really frustrating when you have to leave the laundromat and go to a store just to get change to go back to the laundromat. I mean, nobody likes doing laundry, and when you have to extend that process, it's a headache. So I recommend bringing just a sandwich bag, fill it full of change and dollar bills, keep it with you. Trust me, it'll save you a headache and some time. And number 5, I will tell you right now that batteries are a funny, funky thing. We just never know when it's just gonna say, I'm done with you. When you're traveling on the roads, whether you're moto camping or staying at a hotel, you're gonna hit different types of weather. Now, when you're hitting this different type of weather and it gets colder at night, you just don't know when those cold cranking amps are just gonna be done with your bike, and you could be stranded. And if you're in an area where there's not a lot of traffic going by, that could lead to a very long day and interrupt your trip. So what I'd recommend is picking up a small motorcycle jumpstart kit. They're relatively inexpensive, and it will save you a lot of time. And at bare bones minimum, if you don't want to spend the money on a jumpstart kit, pick yourself up some motorcycle jumper cables. If you ever had to jumpstart a motorcycle, you know the traditional jumper cables used. It's a real pain to get it to the terminals, but they do make a jumper cable kit for motorcycles, which makes it easier to get to those terminals so you can jumpstart your bike and get on the way. But I will link both those options down below as well. But those are the 5. I'd be very curious to hear if you have something else that you always bring with you that we didn't mention here, but you know that people would want to know about. Leave it in the comments down below. Let's help each other out. Folks, thank you for watching. Hit that like button. And until next time, you guys ride safe, be safe. We'll catch you on the next one.